Bank of Canada has raised its benchmark interest rate by 75 basis points. There will certainly be implications for the mortgage and the housing market. Let's bring in Nasma Ali, broker and founder of One Group. She's a Toronto-based realtor. Nasma, thanks a great deal for joining us. What will be the consequences of variable rate mortgages, mortgage rates moving higher in the aftermath of this announcement?
Thank you for having me. I mean, it's going to affect everybody, even for fixed rates. It's going to curve demand. A lot of buyers are waiting on the sidelines, and this is only going to make them wait longer to make a move. There are still some people who are adamant to buy. They want to move, they want to buy, they want to take advantage of the lower prices, and they'll ride out these higher rates. But some people are just waiting for the rates to stop increasing, and then they'll make a move.
And what about investors? What about people or groups of people who were purchasing residences, whether they be single-family detached homes or indeed condominiums for investment purposes? Where are they right now?
These increase in rates have really stopped investors. You know, I think for the past few years, many people were frustrated with the amount of speculation and investment going on in the Toronto real estate. And this has really put a stop to most investors making kind of a purchase. So in terms of selling, I mean, if they don't get the price they want, they're just renting out their property instead. In terms of purchasing, they're waiting because these high rates, yes, rentals are very active, and even rental prices, right? Our rental prices are very high right now, but investors are still paying out of pocket because of the high interest rates. So it just doesn't make sense for them to buy something right now. And a lot of them are just waiting. They're waiting for the bottom. They don't know when that bottom is, but they're ready to make a move at that point.
Yeah, waiting can be a difficult game, can't it? I know people who are waiting as well. They're waiting to buy one bedroom condominium, and the longer they wait thus far, the less affordable the whole thing looks to them, because while prices may be nudging down, that doesn't mean that those condominiums are becoming more affordable, because the cost of borrowing has gone way up.
That's exactly it. I think first-time buyers are the ones that are hurting the most in this process. Because yes, as you said, the prices went down, but the interest rates are so high. And so they're still paying a lot out of pocket monthly. So, I mean, I think maybe the solution for them, if they really want to take advantage of these lower prices, they can wait. I would say they can wait. But if they really want to buy now, maybe just kind of try to buy on the lower end of their budget, and foresee future rate hikes, because there will be more rate hikes coming.
What kind of price declines have you seen in the areas of Toronto where you sell homes?
There's been substantial, I would say, price declines. We're seeing more declines in the suburbs and in those kind of the exurbs, let's say, because I mean, these are the ones that went up, 50, 60% since COVID. They saw very aggressive increases that were never seen before. Whereas in Toronto, I would say prices are kind of holding, not strong, but kind of stable. But it is slow. We saw an uptick in the past 2 weeks in terms of demand. That is very unusual for the month of August. So we'll see now after this announcement, we'll see what the demand will look like going into, October, November. It should be slowing down, I would say, at least probably November.
The Chief Executive Officer of Royal Bank of Canada is speaking today at a conference, and he was asked for his take on the Canadian residential housing market, and he said that he expects home prices across the country on a generalized basis to continue declining, but not to pre-pandemic levels. He thought that some of the pandemic-era gains in prices would be unwound, but not all of them. Is that your view as well?
Yeah, of course. It's very dependent on area and on the type of house or condo that you're looking at. But we've already seen prices, for certain properties going even to 2017 levels. And I think you remember in 2017, we also had a slowdown and prices went down. Well, I mean, they shot up and then they went down. So we've already been starting to see houses selling for 2017, 18, 19. They may be an anomaly, and you really have to look hard at who might be maybe desperate to sell. But we're already starting to see some areas going back to 2020. I would say the areas that have always been kind of increasing at steady levels, just like, in the city, Toronto, Vancouver, I would say you might not see it going to 2015. I don't know. I don't want to give any predictions. I know, we really don't know. We have no idea when they're going to stop raising the rates, and we don't know when inflation is going to come back to 2%. So it's very early to try to make any prediction of how low the prices will go.